Hello, everybody. Welcome back finally to another episode of American Soccer Quick Kicks. The summer of soccer has started. We have a very, very busy summer ahead of us. And I'm a little late coming out with this, but I want to make sure you're up to date on everything that's going on. We got a lot happening, both with MLS competitions and with United States national team. We've had a lot going on. I'm sharing this video with you on Saturday. I hope you see this in time because tomorrow, June 4th, we are going to have the CONCACAF Champions League decided. Leg one of the final has already taken place. LAFC is representing Major League Soccer in the final. They went down to Mexico City, played Leon, and they drew a goal back late to lose that match 2-1. But they're playing the second leg of the final at home in Los Angeles, and they're only down by one goal. So guess what? All they have to do is win at home, which they always expected to be able to do and would need to do in order to win. And if they come away with just a one-goal victory, then it's going to go straight to penalty kicks. But Major League Soccer, for the second year in a row, has a club in the final that's in a position to be able to win the whole thing. So can we do it after going forever, literally, with never winning it? Can Major League Soccer come away with the title 2 years in a row? We will find out tomorrow. LAFC is down by a goal. They're playing the aggregate thing over two legs. They're coming in already losing 2-1 to Leon after the first leg. That's going to come on tomorrow night, Sunday night on FS1. I hope you will watch that. That is the biggest match. That is the biggest competition for club soccer in North America. It doesn't get bigger than that. The stakes do not get bigger than that. So tune in and watch in LA and pull for Major League Soccer in that final. In addition to that, coming up in the next week, the US Open Cup quarterfinals are taking place. We are down to the final 8 teams, and 2 of those teams are from USL. That's the second division. They were the only 2 in the round of 16, and they both won their matches. And so we had Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who upset, I believe it was the Columbus Crew, or was it New England Revolution, and then Birmingham Legion FC, team I'm pulling for because I lived in that city for over 13 years. They were able to upset Charlotte playing in Birmingham, and so they're going to take on Miami next. So we have the quarterfinals taking place this week, and we have 2 lower division clubs still alive in the competition. So pay attention to that. It's going to be interesting to see. Whoever wins this tournament is going to also end up with a berth in next year's Champions League. Now, going on to U.S. soccer, we have had a director of soccer. The higher position, the technical director, has been hired. It was a gentleman from England, which you can look him up and you can read more about him. But at the very least, you can say he's from outside this kind of closed circle of U.S. soccer, which kind of led to a lot of the drama going on with the Reynas and the Berhalters and stuff. And it's good to be able to kind of break out of the old boy network and look for somebody outside the organization. That's what they've done. Also, we were going forward with an interim coach, and then that was Anthony Hudson, and he has taken a job elsewhere. And so we now have an interim for the interim. Okay, the interim is left. We have another interim. BJ Callahan has never been a head coach anywhere ever in his career. And now he's in charge of the United States national team, and he's taken our biggest players, and he's going to go play for trophies this summer. His contract goes to August 1st. He's going to be the coach in place for both Nations League and Gold Cup. And then we will have, theoretically, before the summer's over, have a new manager in place for the men's team. It seems like a wasted year. Here we are with a qualification cycle for the next World Cup that we don't have to participate in. So we're going to be looking for good competition to get our team ready, and we don't even have a manager yet. It's just like last cycle. The first year of the cycle is lost to us because we can't seem to make a decision quickly enough for what to do with the manager job. Nevertheless, we have Nations League coming up this month in June, and before the month is over, the Gold Cup will be starting to play. And so just like in 2021, even though the Nations League is a feeder tournament for the Gold Cup, which is the CONCACAF Championship, okay, just like Champions League is the CONCACAF Championship for clubs, Gold Cup is the CONCACAF Championship for national teams. Okay, you have club competition, you have international competition. And Gold Cup is what we have there for international competition. And the Nations League helps some teams qualify for the Gold Cup. However, because of the nature of the off season, I think primarily of England and the European leagues, we bring our big boys in, our World Cup guys, our A team. We bring them in for Nations League at the beginning of the summer, give them time to play together. And then for the Gold Cup, we're going to have a completely different squad, and it's going to be mostly domestic. It's going to be mostly MLS players and maybe some fringe guys that play in Europe. And that was enough for us to win the Gold Cup. We're the defending champions for both of these tournaments. We won them both in 2021. The question is, can BJ Callahan, who's never been a head coach before, take some of the biggest names in soccer that we have, Pulisic, Weah, Reyna, McKinney, Musa, and get, and have and lead the team and have the respect of those guys and be able to go out there and win Nations League and then turn around and play for the Gold Cup with a bunch of Major League Soccer players. I don't know. We'll find out. But we have Nations League starts on June 15th. This is the semifinal. We're going to play the semifinals and the final in June. Our first semifinal, our semifinal match, our first match is going to be against Mexico. This will make 2 matches in a row for the U.S. team to play Mexico as their opponent. This game is going to be a whole lot more important, be a whole lot more hotly contested with much higher quality rosters, much higher quality squads on the pitch. So this is a game to watch. June 15th is going to be the beginning of the Nations League semifinals. And then by, I think it's June 16th, June 20th, we're going to have the Gold Cup take place. And so it's just like 4 days after the Nations League Gold Cup starts. And so obviously there's a need to swap out the squads because we can't have the same players playing through all that. And the reason we play our big guys early in the summer is to give them that summer off. Let them enjoy their off season where they're playing overseas, give their bodies a chance to rest as their only opportunity over the course of the year, the calendar year, to be able to take it easy a little bit. So we don't want to bring them into the middle of the summer, play in the United States where it's hot, and just keep putting wear and tear on their bodies. At the same time, we want them to have minutes playing together. So that's why we bring them in for Nations League, and we're going to go with a B squad for Gold Cup. Seems a little counterintuitive considering the Gold Cup's higher stakes, but that's how it's going to go. We're not going to see Tyler Adams because of injury, but we are going to see a lot of the big names that you may remember from the World Cup, plus some new names being rotated back in. That roster has been announced. It's available out there. You can go check it out. And then in July, just a few days after the Gold Cup is over, the Women's World Cup is going to start. Now, I'm not going to cover women's soccer very much on this channel, but it's the World Cup, and the United States has won the last 2 World Cups. They're actually going for a three-peat, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. We have more interesting news in women's soccer because USL has announced they're going to start a women's league. I think they're going to call it USL Super League. It's going to be their women's division, and what makes it interesting is they're actually applying for Division I status with FIFA. So in other words, it's not going to be like Major League Soccer's Division I and USL Championship is Division II. Right now we have NWSL as the Division I Women's League, and USL wants to compete directly with them. They want to be direct competition. They want to be also a Division I league, and they're applying for that status. So we'll see what happens. So between Nations League, Gold Cup, Women's World Cup, it's going to be a pretty busy summer. And then something big is going to be happening. I believe it starts the 1st of August. I'll be more details as we get closer to it. The Major League Soccer season is going to be put on hold for a month, as will Liga MX. And both teams from every league are going to play in a month-long tournament. It's going to be the only competition going on during that time for these 2 leagues. So it's going to be everybody in Major League Soccer, everybody in Liga MX in one giant tournament. North American club soccer is going to stop so we can have this tournament. And I'm excited about it. It's going to be really interesting to see how that goes. The quarterfinals, I think I told you, for the Open Cup taking place this week, this first full week of June. And we've had all these rounds played very quickly this spring and here into June. But there's going to be a big pause, and I think it's going to be after Leagues Cup. It's going to be into September that we'll finally get the semifinals and the final for the Open Cup taking place. We're also quickly coming up on the halfway point of the Major League Soccer regular season. And with so much going on in these other competitions, I don't talk about the MLS regular season very much, but I think it's good to check in and maybe look at some of the big stories going on in the league at the halfway mark. And so I'm going to try to do that before this month is over. But anyway, that's what we got going on. Here we are on Saturday. We have Champions League being decided tomorrow. We have Open Cup quarterfinals coming up in the next week. And then the U.S. men are back in action, or back in camp. We're going to have Nations League and Gold Cup in June and July. That's going to roll straight into both Leagues Cup for MLS and the Women's World Cup over there on the international side. And then we're going to be getting into the fall. We already know we're going to have September and October international windows for the men's national team. And so it doesn't stop. Okay, this is it. The summer of soccer has already kicked off. I hope that you'll watch it with me. I hope you enjoyed the last couple of videos I did, kind of more about learning how to watch soccer and understand what's happening on the field. Let me know what you want to hear. Let me hear back from you. Do you want to see more of those? Do you want more of this kind of stuff? I just want to be able to, if there's a spot for me, if there's a niche for me as a content creator of what I can do to serve soccer curious fans, sports fans that maybe would like to be able to understand soccer a little bit better, let me know. Do you want to know some of the big stories of the clubs and the competitions, or do you need more of the rules and the quirks of the game explained? Just let me know in the comments. Reach out to me. Let me know. So until then, we've got a whole bunch of soccer to watch. I hope you'll watch it with me, and then I'll talk to you next time.